Okay, there are also women at the tomb. Let's have a look at this. John 19, verse 25, there stood at, and by the way, we have to say that the women have a much more honorable place in the crucifixion and resurrection account than the disciples. The disciples basically run away. Apart from John, we don't have any record of any of them being at the cross. And when the resurrection happened, they were pretty slow to believe. But the women were there. So there stood by the cross of Jesus his mother, his mother's sister, Mary, the wife of Cleopas, same person as Cleopas actually, and Mary Magdalene. Could do a whole Bible study on those three women. This is very interesting. There are three women who appear in three of the other Gospels. Mary Magdalene is always Mary Magdalene. His mother's sister is also described as Salome, or the mother of Zebedee's sons. Who is his mother? Mary. So this is Mary's sister, who was also a follower of Jesus. And was the mother of Zebedee's sons. Who were Zebedee's sons? James and John. So there's a family connection. If you work that out, it means that James and John were actually cousins of Jesus, according to the flesh. Mary, the wife of Cleopas. Who was Cleopas? Same person as Cleopas, who appeared in the resurrection account in Luke 24. According to early church history, Cleopas was the brother of Joseph, the husband of Mary. So again, the family connection. So you have all these people who came together, these women who were there at the cross. And we read then that following the death of the Lord Jesus, Luke 23, verse 55, the women had come with him from Galilee, followed after. They observed the tomb and how his body was laid. Then they returned and prepared spices and fragrant oils, and they rested on the Sabbath according to the commandment. So the women were there at the burial. They noted the place where it was. They wanted to go and prepare some spices to anoint the body, and they went away on the Sabbath and prepared for the resurrection, and they were the first to see the resurrection of Jesus. Luke 24. Now on the first day of the week, very early in the morning, they and certain other women who were with them came to the tomb bringing the spices which they had prepared. But they found the stone rolled away from the tomb, and then they went in and did not find the body of the Lord Jesus. It was Mary Magdalene, Joanna, Mary the mother of James, and the other women with them who told these things to the apostles. So you have the women, disciples of Jesus. They went and observed where the tomb was. They went home, they prepared the spices, and they rested on the Sabbath. It mentions women who came down from Galilee. One of them is Joanna. Read elsewhere in Luke's Gospel that Joanna was the wife of Chusa, Herod's steward, and Susanna, many others who provided for him from their substance. These were women who were part of the Jesus band, if you like. They weren't part of the 12, but they were people who were there with Jesus. They were constant followers of Jesus, and they're given great honor in their position in the account. And they and certain other women went to the tomb early on Resurrection Day. And so they were there, ready for the great event of the resurrection of Jesus. And they were the first who Jesus appeared to. And you read in the resurrection accounts that Jesus told them, the women, to go and fetch the disciples, to get them together. Again, we don't actually know where the disciples were at this time. So they were absent at the cross. Peter denied Jesus. He was in Jerusalem as far as we can tell. John was in Jerusalem, and he actually was there also at the trial of Jesus in the high priest's house. But the others we don't know about. According to many, when the arrest of Jesus came, which happened at the Garden of Gethsemane, which, you know, the geography of Jerusalem is at the bottom of the Mount of Olives, they then fled, according to the prophecy of Zechariah. Now, if you were feeling that you were in danger of being arrested as Jesus had been, probably the place you wouldn't flee to is Jerusalem, in the city, would you? Because that was where the Jesus was taken, and it could be a place of danger. Now, we know that John and Peter did go that way, but we don't know where the others went. And according to one reconstruction of the account, most likely they fled on the other direction, up the Mount of Olives and over to Bethany, which is on the other side of the hill, which is where Jesus used to meet with his friends, Mary, Martha, Lazarus, and probably that they went in that direction. And when Jesus told Mary Magdalene particularly to go and fetch the disciples, she would have known where they were, gone over to the other side of the Mount of Olives to Bethany, brought them back to Jerusalem, about a 2-mile journey. And so who gathered together the disciples. And all these things kind of fit in with the geography as well. Another great thing about the Bible, by the way, you look at other holy books, they have no reference to geographical places and times. You go to the Bible, you can go to the places, you can see where they are. They're all registered as locations which are real and which show that this was a real account of events which really happened, not some story made up many years later, as some people try to tell you.